Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast, the Wednesday, August 2nd edition. Today in the show, you'll find why your swimsuit might be dangerous, the perfect sandwich ingredients, and things you'll regret not doing when you get older. But first, let's talk IHOP. We love IHOP on the show, don't we?
Hippity hop.
Hippity hop indeed. We love IHOP. We're big IHOP fans. And IHOP, they have a big celebration going on right now. Did you know IHOP is turning 65 years old? It's their 65th anniversary.
That means they were around back in 1960.
Yes, that is correct.
1958.
1958 would have been their first year of existence. And as part of the celebration, one of the things you could do for a limited time is you could go to IHOP and get all-you-can-eat pancakes for $5. That's
a good deal.
That's a steal of a deal.
$5. That's easy money.
It says that they will bring them out. They bring them out in 5 stack. Like you'd get a stack of 5, and then you say, "I want more," and then they bring you another stack of 5, and so on and so forth until you throw in the towel. Also, this sounds even better to me. Any breakfast combo that includes a side of pancakes can also get more pancakes in all-you-can-eat fashion.
Oh, that's awesome.
That sounds great, right?
That's the best case
scenario. You get bacon and eggs, and then as many pancakes as you can handle. That's a great deal.
It's crazy,
it's not
too,
$5.
because it says prices vary, but a full stack of buttermilk pancakes is normally $10.59. And so you're getting at half price and as many as you can eat.
Yeah. What a steal of a deal. How are we not doing this? This is dine-in only, though. So here's the question.
Should we go?
Yeah, should we go? Should we go and see who can eat more?
Oh, how many pancakes can we down?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Where do you think you would, what's your over-under for pancakes?
How many pancakes do I think I could put down?
IHOP specifically.
I don't know the size of their pancakes. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking they're like what? Like a hand?
Yeah, I think like a plate size.
Plate size? Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking I probably could do... and
they're kind of thin, too.
Pancakes are filling.
Light and fluffy.
I'm going to go... this is just a wild guess. I'm going to go 7.
7?
I feel like a lot or a little.
I feel like if you strained yourself, I think you could do more, I would think.
But that feels like a pretty solid number,
Because here's what I'm thinking. Last night, believe it or not, I had pancakes. It was literally the only thing I ate the entire day was pancakes, and so I did kind of have as many as I wanted. They were homemade. They weren't IHOP. They're probably a little denser, but also a little smaller, and I had 4, and that was where I was hitting a wall a little bit, and I did not feel really great about that afterwards either.
Oh, yeah, you got to be feeling stuffed.
So I think maybe like if I really wanted to strain 8, 9, and I probably would be pretty upset when it was all said and done.
So we should do it.
I think it'd be fun.
When do we find the time, though?
Yeah, that's right. We already have a food fight scheduled for tomorrow that's not IHOP related. And I do question how long this would take and if this would be covered or if this would have to be our lunch break. So
it should for sure be covered.
If we film it?
Yeah. If we film and record it, then we can play it on the show. It could be an after show, whatever. And then we can just hang out at IHOP for as long as we want. That's my plan.
I guess we could. Well, it's an option for you. I don't know. We'll think about it.
I'm down for it. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
Whenever. It's the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Now, the Women's World Cup going on now. The group stage is just about to wrap up. I think we got just a few more games to go. But for the United States, it wrapped up early yesterday morning, right?
Yes.
It all wrapped up. The United States is moving on to the knockout stage, but just by the skin of their teeth. It was a close call yesterday.
Yeah, they came down to a draw.
Yeah. Now, the United States, they haven't lost yet, but they also tied twice. They call it draw in soccer, but they tied. They tied twice out of 3 games in the first round in the group stage, which feels, some are saying that's underachieving for the United States.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of controversy circling around them in the past 24 hours.
Yeah.
On some of their actions post-game, literally post-game, because the only thing that saved them from losing was a post with little time left.
They were playing Portugal, right? Mm-hmm. Portugal hit the post. If that shot goes in,
it's over.
Yeah, the United States sent home early, sent packing.
Before even the 16 knockout stage bracket even ensues, they would have been out of there. So some former players like Carly Lloyd, who has been announcing the World Cup.
Yeah, Fox Sports analyst. Very
upset after the game.
What did she say?
She said essentially what the issue that everyone had was after the game, the World Cup players, the U.S. Women's National Team, celebrating a draw, which obviously for us, there should be no celebration.
Yeah.
Carly Lloyd, after the game, her comments on them dancing and cheering after they drew, here they are.
I have never witnessed, and just seeing these images for the first time right now on the desk, I have never witnessed something like that. There's a difference between being respectful of the fans and saying hello to your family, but to be dancing, to be smiling. I mean, the player of the match was that post. You were lucky to not be going home right now.
Ooh, I love that.
You like that?
I do. I personally do. I think that they deserve the hate that they're getting. It's crazy for them to be celebrating a draw against a team that they were so heavily favored against is wild.
Yeah, but they're moving on. And I watched the video of them celebrating and stuff. I don't think that's, we're so happy that we got a draw. I think they're not going home yet. They're celebrating with they're just having a good time with their fans. Now, I think two things can be true. One, I think the criticism is overblown. Like, it's the kind of stuff that countries that routinely disappoint in the World Cup seem to do. You know what I mean? Like if Italy, they disappointed. They didn't even make the Men's World Cup this past time. And so that's like, why aren't they more upset type of thing? You're also routinely disappointed. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds like, it doesn't sound like a criticism that really rings true. Like, that's not the reason you're winning or losing. And,
yeah, it's definitely not.
But what I also think is true is, so far from what we've seen from the United States, I don't think they're probably destined to win this World Cup. But is it because they celebrated after they tied and moved on? I don't think so.
I think what my issue is I think once you make it to elite status, which the women's national team, they're going to tell you they're elite. If you're going to be loud and you want to demand more money, all these things, that's fine. But then when criticism comes, you got to take it. That's how it goes. And so they've now moved in the territory of Ohio State football, Alabama football, Georgia football, the Kansas City Chiefs. This year, if Ohio State loses a game, if we beat Maryland by 3 points this year, I'm going to end that game upset if we win it with the last-second field goal, because we should win by more than that. The U.S. Women's National Team, if you draw against a team that is way worse than you, your fans are going to finish that game upset, because there's people on Monday or on Tuesday or whenever it was that stayed up till 3 a.m. to watch you play crappy and draw. And essentially, you should have lost the game had it not been for the post. And so once you make it to that elite status, yet again, ask Alabama football fans, if they win a game by a last-second field goal against a crappy team, that's not a win. They're not happy that they stayed undefeated. They're saying, what the heck is wrong with our team? And so sometimes this is another one of those times. Our national team is very arrogant. They're going to tell you they're good. I hope that we win every game. They haven't lost one in 20 in a row. But sometimes when you're that arrogant and you're playing good, whatever, sometimes you need to lose. Do they need to lose to be a little bit hungrier? Maybe they do.
I don't think that isn't wrong that they might need to lose to be humbled a little bit. But I think if they walked away from this game looking all dour, looking all upset and whatever, that signals to me that you're going to come out playing tight now. That all of a sudden you're all tight, you're all wound up. And that's no way to win. That's a way to be a country that routinely disappoints, and that's not what the United States wants. So I think, again, I don't think they're going to win the whole thing, but I also don't think that celebrating or having a good time after they tied and moved on is a sign that that's why.
Yeah, we'll see. I just if you're gonna play rough like this, if you're not gonna play good like this, then that means 4 more years. You have until you get to play again. Tough matchup coming up next. They have Sweden in the knockout stage. So they might not even make it through that. We'll see. Hopefully they'll bounce back. We'll see. They're still the favorite to win it all at this point. So we'll see. Tough road now, though. Yeah, it is.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
A picture in your mind, the perfect sandwich. What are you seeing on it?
Cheese.
Of course.
There's got to be cheese.
Gonna need you to be more specific.
Maybe like a gooey cheese, maybe a pepper jack cheese.
Pepper jack?
What about for me? Are we talking about me?
You can tell me your ideal sandwich, but I have here a survey of 2,000 Americans, and what they say makes up the perfect sandwich. With the average American, if you pooled everyone together and we had to design a sandwich, it wouldn't have pepper jack cheese on it. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no.
That wouldn't be a people pleaser.
What are these posers saying is the perfect sandwich?
You mean the American public, the poser?
Yeah, I know that these aren't going to be real, true answers.
All right, here's what the American public believes makes a perfect sandwich. These are the top ingredients. First of all, it needs tomato.
To what now?
Can we cut and start over?
No.
All right.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
Tomato.
Tomato is the topping. 54% of people believe that tomato should be on a sandwich.
And both of us disagree on that because neither of us like tomato.
I hate raw tomato.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, ruins the sandwich.
So we're both on the same page there. Tomato, a no-go.
Yeah, that's a no-go for us.
That one's off.
Of course, as you mentioned, a perfect sandwich needs cheese. The American public believes that the ideal cheese for a sandwich is nice cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese.
See, that kind of surprises me. Cheddar?
That's just the most standard, though.
I'm surprised the American public didn't pick American.
Oh, of course.
Or maybe Colby Jack.
Colby Jack is a good one.
That's like a pretty traditional.
That's a gold one.
Everybody likes Colby Jack.
Who doesn't love Colby Jack? But apparently not as much as cheddar. And then obviously it needs some meat to go on there. And so the American public believes the ideal meat for a sandwich, Black Forest ham.
I'm down with the ham. I like a ham sandwich.
What is they even have it split out here, like honey ham versus Black Forest ham. What is Black Forest ham?
Isn't that a brand of ham?
I'm sure that I've had it. It's capitalized, but I don't know specifically what makes something Black Forest ham.
It's not a brand. It's a kind.
Okay, what constitutes a Black Forest?
So it looks like a Black Forest ham is a variety of dry-cured smoked ham produced in the Black Forest region of Germany.
And that's the top ham. That's the top meat for a sandwich. And then, of course, obviously a sandwich needs sauce as well. Barbecue sauce is the top sauce for a sandwich. Finally.
Does that go with that, though?
It does. I don't usually picture barbecue sauce on a sandwich, but that's what the American public says.
I wouldn't even go. I don't even know if I wouldn't do barbecue sauce on a sandwich.
Barbecue sauce?
I mean, I like barbecue sauce on hamburgers and pulled pork.
Which are sandwiches.
But on like this sandwich they just described, I'm not putting barbecue sauce on ham.
All right, finally, now this is controversial. This is wrong to me. The bread, of course. What kind of bread are you going to put your sandwich on? If you're an American, the average American going with whole wheat bread.
Whole wheat?
Yeah.
Who are they asking?
Yeah, I know. Health
Who's
nuts.
The census?
All right. You know
this is an older crowd.
You know what we need to do? We need people to text in. We need the Riot hotline. We need people to text in.
877-2-RADIO-U.
You know, it'd be way more interesting is not what the average American, after they're surveyed and we add all the votes together, what the average sandwich would be. We need everybody to design their own. If you had a sandwich named after you that was your own created sandwich, what would it be?
And I want to hear a name for it, too. Like, I don't want it to be the Isaiah. It's going to be something cooler than that. Like, the Hudson, it's going to be like the HUD or something like that. So I need a name for it, too. Name your sandwich.
I've got a good name for my sandwich. Text in 877-2-RADIO-U. Create a sandwich.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Now, the question is, if you could design a sandwich from the ground up that'd be named after you, I mean, you can name it whatever you want, but it's your sandwich. It's your creation. What are you going to name it? Less important, what are you going to name it? what's gonna be on the sandwich? We asked this because Americans were surveyed, and the average American's dream sandwich is tomatoes, black forest ham, cheddar cheese, barbecue sauce on whole wheat bread. A ridiculous sandwich, but that's what the average American came up with. People are texting in with their ideas. Amber texted in, her sandwich would simply be peanut butter and bananas on white toast, and she'd call it the new classic.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know, it's simple, the new classic, but at the same time, it works.
Not exactly reinventing the wheel.
I'm not going to be upset with that.
Yeah, but people would order that, right?
Yes.
People would order that. How about Tiffany texting in BLT with avocado and a runny egg on sourdough.
Oh, a runny egg.
Yeah.
I like that. I've never done the egg on a sandwich, but many a times have I been tempted by it.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good. In fact, it features on my sandwich.
Oh, it's on yours?
Yeah, you ready?
No, it's not.
You ready to hear mine?
Yeah,
this is a real unique creation. All right, we do have a runny egg on there. We've got bacon. We've got for the meat, we've got ham, honey ham.
Honey ham.
Honey ham.
So we're going honey ham,
runny egg, bacon.
It's a lot of protein.
A little breakfasty. It's my sandwich.
You do whatever you want. I'm not against it.
We need some cheese on there. So we're going Gouda. Gouda for the cheese. Gouda, the great cheese.
Okay, Gouda.
We need some sauce on there. So for sauce, we're going with a sweet and spicy chipotle mayo. We're putting it on.
This is getting to be a pretty big.
I'm open.
Big ordeal here.
I'm open on bread. I'll go some sourdough, sure. And then we pop that thing on a panini press to give it, because we want it to be nice and I guess that wouldn't work for a runny egg, but we need toasted bread. We need it run through the toaster.
That's a big sandwich.
That is a good sandwich.
Can you run through it one more time for me so I can keep up?
Honey ham. Bacon. Gouda cheese.
Okay.
Runny egg. Chipotle, sweet and spicy chipotle mayo. Sourdough bread. Toasted up all nice and warm. And we call that the Hud Daddy.
The Hud Papa. The Hud Daddy.
Oh,
I
the
like
Hud Papa. I like the Hud Papa. I think
you can't switch it now.
Yeah, you can't.
Don't steal my answer, because I'm about to go head to head with you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, so mine, we're doing pulled pork as my protein.
Nice.
On top of it, we're going with my cheese, mac and cheese.
Okay.
Topped off with everyone's favorite, but everybody always forgets about this one as a topping, onion strings.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Those little crispy onion strings. And then you have your choice if you want barbecue on it. But I'm going to go ahead and put the barbecue on the side.
On the side, okay.
That way you can put as much on as you want. I don't like it when they load the pulled pork on there, because then it's all over the mac and cheese, the onion strings. I just like to dabble it on there. I don't want it to be engrossed in barbecue sauce. And then for my bun, we're going with a pretzel bun.
Oh!
I love a pretzel bun. Especially with the pulled pork, I love a pretzel bun. And that's called Scooter's Special. Scooter's Special is the pretzel bun, the pulled pork, the mac and cheese with the onion strings, the crispy ones on top.
And you thought mine was aggressive.
That's an aggressive move.
That's a lot of calories.
Well, we're not worried about calories on Scooter's Special.
We're having fun. Philip texted in with his sandwich. He calls it the Phil. Bacon, cheeseburger, egg, sausage.
Ooh, a little breakfast feel there.
Yeah, you want to talk about a lot of calories. It's going to add up.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, you guys can text in, would you go with the Hud Papa or Scooter's Special?
Yeah, and if there's any restaurateurs out there, add it to the menu.
Hey, you're more than welcome to give us a call.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
What's more important? Your looks or your house?
Good question.
Yeah. What do you care more about?
Well, I don't really have a home.
You live somewhere.
I live at a place. But I don't own it, you know?
Yeah.
But I like my house. I like my house a lot.
Yeah.
But I like my face. I like the way I look when I look in the mirror. I think if you took that away, might be more upset.
Yeah. If you took away your youthful good looks, And you'd be more upset about that than losing the place you live at now?
It's tough to say. If I woke up one morning and I was just ugly, I don't know how I would react to that. I don't know how I would feel. I'm so used to this face. You know?
I'm so used to being beautiful.
I've come accustomed to it. Whether it's pretty or not, I, in my mind, am comfortable looking this way. If I looked completely different tomorrow, my confidence might be shot.
Yeah.
Could I even show up to work? I don't know.
We are on video, so you wouldn't want to come in here looking ridiculous, not looking your best. Well, I'll tell you that maybe you have something in common with this 50-year-old woman from Arizona who recently revealed that she decided to sell her 3-bedroom house. And the reason she did that is because she wanted to be able to afford a facelift.
Oh, I'm against that.
You're against that? It sounds like you're pro that.
No, I'm not. I'm not for that. That's not the same.
Why?
That's different.
Why is that?
If it was for her face, if she had to sell her house to keep the face she has now, that's different than her getting an upgrade, a facelift. That's getting work done.
Yeah, but she says she's 50 now. She was 48 when she noticed that her face started dropping fast, that, you know, her looks were leaving her, and so she had to act fast. And so for you, if your face all of a sudden just started falling off a cliff one day, then maybe you would be willing to give up your house, it sounds like, if it meant keeping your youthful good looks. That's exactly what this woman did. The facelift, $14,000 she had to pay for it. And so the only way to do that was to sell her 3-bedroom home. And so now she travels around in a van.
That's what she does now?
Yeah, she's van living.
I don't think that that's a fair trade-off. I think that I would, if I had the choice, if you gave me options of, because I won't lie, her photos, I mean, she looks good now. She looks real young. She looks real good in these pictures. But if you gave me the options of being ugly with a home, or being pretty living in a van, I think I probably would pick pretty in a van.
Yeah, see, I knew you would. I knew you would.
No, I would pick ugly in a home, maybe.
I think it sounds to me like in your heart, you know, you'd pick pretty in a van.
Well, maybe today, but if I was 45, I mean, right now, it's just me, so I could live out of a van.
Yeah.
But like in 20 years, I would want to have a home. And so I would pick, and I don't care if I'm ugly then. I get,
yeah. Okay. Well, I
don't believe a word that's coming out of my mouth.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I don't even know if I believe myself.
Yeah.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
A bear in China at a Chinese zoo. People are accusing the Chinese zoo of having a person dress up in a bear costume and perform and act like a sun bear and try to dupe people into thinking that it's actually a bear. We came to the conclusion that it's an actual bear, right?
Like we think so.
We agreed. We even had Nikki on in the Worst of the RIOT podcast, which you can find on the RadioU RIOT YouTube channel and Facebook page and just wherever you find your podcasts. And she agreed as well. She's a bear expert.
Nikki?
Yeah, Knick-Knack.
Knick-Knack Nikki.
She said she closely analyzed the bear's butt. She said, because that's a hot topic. That's how a lot of people, she said, I'm a bear expert, a bear butt expert. And that is a real bear butt. It's not a human in a costume butt.
Well, nobody's seen more bear butts than Nikki.
That's right. But that all was prior to this new video coming out that shows the very same bear, what appears to be waving at the crowd. Bears don't wave, do they?
Not typically.
So check this video out and see if it changes, if it sways your opinion, if you now think that maybe this sun bear at the Hangzhou Zoo in China might actually be a human in a sun bear costume.
Well, that's not a wave. That's more. Oh, I don't know.
It's kind of a wave.
It's a wave. Why is the bear waving? How did they teach you to do that? This is so confusing because I feel like they would want the rumors. No, they don't.
That's right. This is big publicity for them.
Yeah, I bet their zoo is more popular now than ever.
Yeah, it's got to be. People have come to see for themselves in person. Bear. Is this a real bear? Judge for themselves up close and personal.
But I will say, there are other bears in this habitat.
So if there was just one human in a bear costume, one, why? Two, that could be dangerous.
You would think the other bears would sniff them out.
Yeah, I think so. I think they'd get wise. I think there's no better judge of a sun bear than another sun bear.
But also this wave, this is looking pretty wild. It looks as if, this is suspicious. Yet again, I'm suspicious again.
Yeah.
I'm back. But also I feel like they're just trying to drive up the publicity. And so I'll stand with, it's still a bear. Bears are pretty smart. They could wave.
Yeah, and they're more human-like than we think. I think in some of their mannerisms, their behaviors.
Apparently so.
Sometimes bears wave. I'm sure I've seen that sometime in some form or fashion.
It's just Walker's, he's standing, he or she is standing on his back feet.
Uh-huh.
And waving. So it just looks very suspicious.
Yeah. It's the jury's out.
We may have to circle back with Nikki on that one.
Yeah, that's right.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
If you've ever been to Costco lately, you might sense a bit of a change of scenery. Something's getting a little different at Costco's across America, slowly and surely, and that is a change to their free samples. It's one of the things they're known for, would you say?
People do talk about the free samples.
The free samples.
At Costco.
The food court. People love the Costco food court. People love the free samples at Costco. But if you go to Costco, what you might find is that no longer do many Costcos have people standing there handing out free samples for you. Instead, they are moving to little AI-powered self-service kiosks that are being set up that will dispense your free samples for you instead. And you might be wondering, what's the reason for this?
Why so?
Why are they no longer having people hand out free samples at Costco? I'll tell you, it's a couple of reasons. One, it's a different company than Costco. Like, they hire a company to come in and do this for them. This company is having difficulty hiring people to give out the free samples because it only pays like $14 or $15 an hour.
Which is crazy.
It feels like a lot for just standing there.
Here we go again. Go on.
But $14 an hour is not a lot for anything anymore.
Apparently not.
You can't live on that.
No.
So unless you already have some other form of income, like, why would you pick that job when you can get paid more to do something else?
Well, I feel like that's a good job for like a high schooler.
A high schooler, yeah. Except that it's like during school hours.
Maybe if you're like a summer, home for summer.
Costco time. They say that actually it's a prime job for senior citizens.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is, going back to COVID, the top thing that COVID sending everybody home did was make senior citizens not want to work anymore.
Really?
Well, a lot of them died. And a lot of them were like,
morbid.
Well, now I can retire. Like, if I'm not working now anyways, I guess I'll just retire a little earlier than maybe I intended. Or they went home, and then it's like, well, I could go back to work, but I won't. Like, just for various reasons, a conglomerate of reasons, senior citizens were the most likely to be handing out the free samples, and they're also the most likely to not be as inclined to work anymore for these meager wages. And so it's harder to hire people to do this. And so instead, they've decided to go ahead and start handing out these free samples with, the way of the future.
The old AI machines.
Yeah.
See, the only thing for me is like yesterday, I was at Kroger.
Yep.
They had somebody who had free samples.
They still are doing I've still noticed people doing that.
Yeah, so there was free samples yesterday at Kroger, and I wanted one. But the guy wouldn't say anything to me, so I didn't feel like I could take one. I wanted him to be like, hey, I kind of like eyed him. I looked at him. I wanted him, it was a young guy, probably like the same age as me.
Yeah.
I wanted him to be like, do you want one?
Yeah.
But he never said anything. So what am I going to do? Am I just going to walk up and be like,
and just snatch one?
What do you have here?
Don't mind if I do.
See, I want them to ask me. Now, that's, like, yet again, if I saw one of the kiosks, I'm not going to walk up to the kiosk and get one.
Oh, really?
I'm not going to do that.
That's surprising to me.
I want someone to force my hand. I want you to say, hi, sir, did you want to try this cracker with cheese? You know what? As a matter of fact, I did.
Yeah.
You read my mind.
I'll say that it's a bell curve for me of how likely I am to take a sample. If there's a person there, the middle is the person not saying anything to me. And so it's a manned station, but they're not saying anything, then I'm not going to take it. If they offer, then I'm very likely to take it.
Super likely.
Unless it's something I know I don't like.
Exactly. Unless I don't want it, I would say I'm good.
Yep.
But if I even mildly want it, I will take it.
But if there's no person there at all, then I'm very highly likely to take it.
You think you're going to walk up to a kiosk? There's people around staring at your kiosk.
You can take as many as you want.
I'm not going to kiosk. I already know I won't. Because I feel weird doing that.
I'd be way more likely to take it if there's not a person there.
What about if there was no one sitting there and it was just sitting there on the little thing?
Yeah, I do that all the time. Like sometimes Meyer, for example, they'll have like little cheese cubes out.
You'll just grab that?
Yeah, I love taking those.
Don't you think people looking at you? I always get weirded out by people looking at me.
Why would they be?
If I'm at the kiosk. Like, what are you doing at that kiosk? You want the little bites that bad? You're going to go to the kiosk to get those muffins, boy? Yeah, I guess so.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
This is an interesting question. Somebody went ahead and asked on Reddit. They asked older people, like elderly, senior citizens, what's something you regret not doing when you were younger? So this can give us, while we're still young, some perspective, some ideas, some things we don't want to miss out on. We don't want to make errors on. You ready for some of the answers?
Let's hear them. I've got some already cooking in my head. So let's hear if these people can come up with better ones than myself.
All right. One suggestion. Looking after your teeth.
That's a good one, I guess. Yeah.
If you don't look after your teeth when you're younger, you will regret it when you're older, apparently.
Got it.
At least what one elderly person said. How about stretching daily for good health?
That sounds like something an adult would say.
Yeah.
Sounds like something my dad would say,
That's
actually.
real grown up.
Yeah, that's what my dad would say.
It's hard for me to believe, though. But maybe I'm just real flexible. Let's see. Fill your time. They say find a creative hobby that you can stick with for a long time. Because when you get old, all of a sudden, a lot of your time becomes way more free, and you can get real bored real fast.
That makes sense to me.
So I guess you got to pick up a hobby now that you can stick with through all this time, because it's hard to pick up a hobby when you're old, right?
Probably harder
than it would be right now. So find a way to fill your time that you can continue on with when you're older. This is a good one. Stay in touch with the people you care about and who care about you.
Well, this is getting somber quick, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you don't want to lose touch with friends, though. And nobody does that on purpose. But if you make an intention of doing that, I think that falls into the category of filling your time. Like when you're older, if you don't have people to talk to all the time, you get real lonely, too.
Yes.
You get lonely and bored, apparently. Let's see. Oh, this was a left turn. At first, I thought it was make sure you go to a lot of music festivals, because you can't do that when you're older.
Mm-hmm.
Not as easy. But then it says, but wear earplugs at concerts and when you're doing other loud things like mowing the lawn, so you protect your hearing.
Well, people here don't want to hear that.
No, they don't. I've been to so many music festivals. I've never once worn earplugs.
And like once you get older, what do you even need to hear, you know? Like what do you not know at that point? What do I need to hear from you? Nothing.
I think I'd like to assume that what do you call it? That hearing aid technology is one of the top things that will advance by the time I'm old anyways.
Yeah, we'll just all have little like Bluetooth hearing aids.
Yeah. Let's see. Some other ideas. Drink more water. Do yoga. Wear sunscreen.
Can we get some good ones?
What do you mean?
Like drink more water?
Invest your money.
Realistically, if I talked to somebody who was 70 years old today, I was like, if you could give me one piece of advice of something that I should do right now, and they said drink more water to me, if that's what their answer was, I would say, well, thank you for the life-changing knowledge. Tomorrow, I'm going to wake up, and I'm just going to pound water. And by the time I'm 50, my life will be changed forever.
This is what they're saying.
Well, I'm just saying.
These are elderly people looking back. These are their regrets.
Already.
These are their regrets. I regret not drinking more water when I was younger.
That's a big regret.
Apparently. Who are we to say? We're still young. So what do we know?
I could come up with bigger regrets right now.
What are yours?
The first one I come up with, I think every 6-year-old man or woman should be required to play golf, because think about how darn good I'd be now if I had just started when I was little. But now I'm trash today as a 25-year-old, and I can't swing a darn club to save my life.
That's your regret.
But if I had played in high school,
when you were a toddler,
if my dad had put me into lessons when I was 10, or taught me how to play the piano when I was 10, or taught me to do a foreign language when I was 10, it'd be second nature now.
Yeah, but do you think you'd enjoy it?
I think I'd be so good at it, I'd love it. It'd be another flex for me. If I could just fluently speak Spanish, it'd be like second nature. It'd be so awesome.
Yeah, learning a language might be a good one, and maintaining your knowledge of the language.
Learning an instrument. You know how easy it is when you're 8 years old to start playing something and be good at it when you're 25? If I tried to learn something now, it would take me so long to figure it out.
You'd never be able to figure out the flute nowadays.
No, exactly. And think how cool it'd be if I could play the flute now.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Would you rather Wednesday? Our question today, as people get ready to go back to school, there could be even children that are back in school now, for all I know, in some areas. I know it's different in every city, in every state, in every town. So who knows? But back to school time coming up. Would you rather switch to a 4-day school week but have no summer vacation, so you're doing year-round school, or keep things the way they are? You get your summer vacation, but it's still 5 days a week. Which one would you choose? I'll tell you that AJ texted in and said, it depends. If you would graduate earlier by doing year-round school, then he would take that. But if not, keep it how it is. That's AJ's answer. I don't think you would graduate earlier. I don't think that's a part of the question. So, plus you're only doing 4 days a week.
True. But I think when we actually calculate it out, though,
that would probably have you actually in school for more days.
It definitely would, because there's, 53 weeks in a year?
And, well, there's 104 days of summer vacation, as Phineas and Ferb taught us. So
that's half.
Yeah, you'd be in school for 50 more days.
You get 1 day a week, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be 50 more days of school. When you say it like that.
Yeah, starts to become more clear. Philip says, keep it as it is. If you had 4 days, if you had 4 day school weeks, that's less holidays. But you'd also get a holiday every week. So.
And you're still getting Christmas off.
Yeah, right. You still get that break, of course.
Yeah.
Brittany says she's a teacher and she needs her summers.
That's like a real answer there.
Yeah, I tend to think that'd be the way. I was going to tell you, though, that from looking at our socials where we got this posted out, and this is mostly like polls, so I don't get to see people saying why, but there's more people saying that they would take the 4 day week and year-round school.
Of course they would.
Yeah, but I don't get that. For me, I would definitely keep it the way it is, summer vacation. You don't understand, especially until you're an adult and you have to work all year round, how great summer vacation is.
Yeah, when you just have nothing to do for 3 months.
Yeah.
What a great time. It doesn't matter if you're working 4 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever your schedule is, if you're doing it every week, it still feels daunting. It feels like you're in school mode, where it's nice when you have that time when you just have absolutely nothing going on. I agree with you. I also would do a summer vacation. I don't want to do 4 days a week. And the other thing, too, I think the reason that people voted on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and whatnot for the 4 day work or 4 day school week is because people just want change. I know in a lot of other parts of the world, they do school year round and whatnot, and they have different ways to do it. And I feel like everyone always thinks that the way that you're not doing it is better, because you just want it makes you feel better. The grass is
always greener.
It makes you feel better. You're oh no, the way that the school is set up right now, it's dumb. We should be doing 4 day work weeks or whatever. And in reality, I think that the summer vacation's pretty overpowered.
Well, here's Rhonda's argument as a school teacher. She says she would take the 4-day school week because you'd be more productive and the teachers and students would be less burned out.
Because that 5 days in a row.
5 days of school week is exhausting.
Yeah, it's a lot of days in a row.
It's exhausting enough for students. It has to be even more so for teachers.
Yeah.
I would think so. But now think of it in these terms, though. Think about this: if you're not a teacher, then for most people, you work year round, 5 days a week. Would you not? If you were given the option 4-day week or summer or 2.5 months of summer vacation, you're telling me you're not going to take summer vacation?
See, that's tough. I don't know. It's so hard to say. I would rather have like 2.5 months off. I get paid throughout it. That's pretty great.
You still get paid. You still get the holidays the rest of the year.
Think of the vacations.
Yeah, think about what you could do.
Just relax every day. But also, by the end of summer vacation, everyone's always ready to go back. At least I always was.
Yeah, a lot of people. It's a good question.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
What would you think is the safest swimsuit to wear?
The safest?
Yeah.
I don't even know what kind of a question that is. What are you safe from?
Well, there's lots of dangers at the beach.
I would say one that has a good tie.
A good tie?
Yeah, like a good string.
Yeah.
You don't want those things coming off.
That's true.
I think that might be the most important thing. I think you need that good elastic waistband. Something strong around the waist. That way when the big wave comes, you don't find yourself flashing everyone.
That's a good idea. You have a color in mind? What kind of color swimsuit do you wear?
See, I've got a couple of different ones.
Oh, you rotate them?
Yeah, I've got a couple of different ones right now. My new favorite is kind of a light tan.
Okay.
Because it's almost like a creamy yellow.
Oh, so it blends in with your skin.
Naturally, yes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit lighter color, so almost like a yellowish tint to it. But yeah, real clean looking, kind of like a cream.
Got it. I'll tell you that I have here, there's a debate about what the best kind of swimsuit to wear is based off of color alone. And that is because experts can't seem to agree. See, some experts say that you don't want to wear a bright colored swimsuit. And do you want to know why that is?
Why is that?
Because it could attract sharks.
Sharks.
There's thoughts that, well, not necessarily attract sharks, but you are more likely to get attacked by a shark if you're wearing a bright swimsuit. At least that's the theory, because sharks have monochromatic vision. In other words, if there's a bright color, like they can't see color too well, but if you're wearing a bright colored swimsuit, there's going to be a lot of contrast between that and the water that the shark is looking up above. And so that would make you stand out, and then you flapping around, splashing in the water. If there's a shark underneath you, it might be more likely to feel curious about taking a little nibble. So there's that. However, here's the flip side. If you wear a bright colored swimsuit, you're more likely, if you start like floating away to sea, you get caught up in a riptide or something, an undercurrent, you're more likely to be seen. You're easier to be spotted because you got a bright colored swimsuit on.
Makes sense.
So what's more important? Not getting attacked by a shark or being saved if you're swept out to sea?
I, myself, not afraid of sharks.
Okay.
Because I know the percentage chance of us being attacked is so low. Like shark attacks per year, there's probably like less than 3 people a year who die from shark attacks.
Okay.
And so I think that I'm not really worried about them when I go. Like, what are the odds that it's going to be me?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't wear.
But if you're wearing bright colored swimsuit, then the odds increase, it seems.
Yeah, but the odds are like 1 in 1 million that you're going to be the person that goes to the beach and gets bit by a shark.
I don't know. Tell that to the people that have been bit by sharks.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to say, dang, dude, that's bad luck for you. But I think you should wear whatever color looks the best on you. I think whatever looks the best on you, because at the end of the day, you're going to get pictures at the beach. You don't want to be wearing some weird swimsuit that's lime green. You look like a goof in.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid to get bit by a shark. That's not going to do well for you on Instagram.
Yeah, no,
everyone at the beach, so they're not going to be looking at you that way.
I'm, what am I more afraid of? A shark or like getting swept away at sea or like hitting my head and getting knocked out or something? I'm definitely not afraid of the shark. I think I could take him.
Oh, you think you could just fight a shark?
Yeah, just bop it in the nose, as they say.
That's what they say.
I bop people in the nose all the time. I think I could handle it. Is what I'm saying.
I don't think I'd be able to fight the shark, but I do think that I would never run into one.
In fact, I'm going to start wearing a bright swimsuit and inviting sharks. Come get me. See what happens.
That way you can prove yourself.
Yeah, catch these hands.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.